Welcome everyone to another edition of TMOLR Texas. It's uh, it's been a great week of weather. We've had a break from our heat, which is a wonderful thing. And to be honest with you, it's actually gotten a little bit cold in the house, but that's okay. I like to sleep cold, so it's been a lot more comfortable. We've actually got some much needed rain, and hopefully we'll get a little bit more rain here in next couple of days. But this episode is going to feature a little bit of West Columbia, and West Columbia Columbia was the first capital of the Republic of Texas, and that's something that we're going to kind of look at as well. And we're also going to go to a great place called Chesney's. It's a store that's it's very special, and you'll see why as we go through the video. And also, we pay a visit to the Columbia Historical Museum, and I'm just going to say right off the bat before we even get to that part of the video that it is a well-designed. They've taken a lot of painstaking time and energy and attention to detail when it comes to this museum, and I was very impressed with the museum, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get into the video, and stay to the very end if you would. Got a couple of announcements to make, and let's get into the video. I arrived in West Columbia maybe 2 hours before the scheduled appointment with the historical museum. So I decided to drive around the town and maybe get some pictures and video of some of the historic places that are in West Columbia. And first stop, because it's a little bit out of the way, it's a little bit out of town, was the Varner Hogg Plantation. And I remember going to this plantation not only in junior high but in high school. I actually did help perform a play during I think it was the Varner Hogg Plantation Days or something, some type of celebration that was going on at the time. And we did the melodramatic play called "He Ain't Done Right by Nail," and it was just a silly little play, but we were on the back balcony and performed this play, and I don't think there were very many people out there. Not a whole lot of people show up to high school plays, at least back in the day. But we did get a quick tour, get to look around the grounds and everything like that, and there will be in the future a video specifically on the Varner Hogg Plantation. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Also, went ahead and drove on down to East Columbia. This was before the previous video I did on the Preserving History Part 1, and took some pictures of the Sweeney Waddy cabin and the Ammon Underwood home, and of course Bell's Landing. And if you have not seen Preserving History 1, I do invite you to go ahead and check that one out. Going a lot more in depth on my feelings on the preservation of these 3 historic places that are in East Columbia. But these places do hold significant history, not just for Brazoria County, but for Texas as a whole. And one thing that I did find really cool was almost in the center of downtown is a war memorial. And I think West Columbia and the parties involved did an outstanding job of creating this monument. And it really does go into just honoring those who have served in the armed forces during peacetime and wartime. And as you can see here, there are little monuments here for those that were killed in action. And please pardon the orange shirt individual that is in the in the reflection of that beautiful piece of artwork there, and then also with the POWs and the MIAs that are there. And I would highly recommend that you go and check this out. And it's just a nice little dedication to those who have fought and died and served our country, again, in times of war and during our relative peace. Also, there is this statue of an army soldier there with his weapons and everything like that, and there is a little inscription underneath it that says, "Dedicated to all the veterans who have served our country. They served with honor, and now we honor them." And I felt a lot of pride with that. Being an Air Force veteran, I think that West Columbia did an outstanding job with this little place here. And then right directly behind it is the replica of the first Capitol building of the Republic of Texas. Now, this site here is not the actual site where this house stood on. It's actually a few blocks up the road, and you can access it easily going up Highway 35, going towards Sweeney. And here's a couple of pictures that I've taken. This is the front of the replica there, and they've done a pretty good job of trying to recreate this replica. And here you have the historical marker on there, the first capital of the Republic of Texas. Now, it wasn't the capital for very long. It was moved to Harrisburg not long after this capital was established. But we can still lay claim in Brazoria County as being the first capital of the Republic of Texas. And finally, I stopped at the Old Columbia Cemetery. Now, this was part of Josiah H. Bell's land grant, his part of his deed. And there are some very historic, old gravestones in here. I remember in 7th grade, we went and did some grave rubbings and things like that. Of course, that was 35 years ago, I would imagine. And that's another place that I do want to go back to and visit and dedicate a video to that, the historical grave sites that are there. But let's go ahead and get closer to our visit with the Columbia Historical Museum. And also, we're going to meet a young lady that really captivated my attention with her knowledge of West Columbia as it has gone through its growing process. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the upcoming anniversary that will happen next year. Right next door to the museum is a store that was established in 1924, which means it will be celebrating its 100th anniversary next year. And it's a cool little jewelry store, and right across the street from the museum is Republic Barbecues. You can kind of see on the left side of the picture there. It's a great place to go have some barbecue while you're checking out the historical significance of West Columbia. Now, I did get a chance to talk with Miss Donna Lippert. She is the owner of Chesney's, and as you can see here, it's a quaint little store. It's got a lot of cool things in it. I did give her a little bit of razzing on all of the Texas A&M stuff that's in there, but well, I am a UT fan, but it's a nice little store. It's got a lot of historical things in there. She's got some great pictures. She is She is very knowledgeable about the history of West Columbia, and I highly recommend that you come in and check out this little store. She also has, we'll see here in just a little bit, she has a newspaper cutout of an advertisement and things of that nature that are from old newspapers. We're coming up on it here. You can see the smoking hot ladies right there. A lot of funny stuff in there as well. Just some really cool things. And once again, we're subjected to Texas A&M stuff, but you can see an advertisement there, removal sale, or what used to be called a removal sale is what we call a clearance sale now. But a lot of neat things there, and Miss Donna is just one of the nicest people I think I've ever met in my life. She's very approachable, let's put it that way, and just an amazing person. And I really enjoyed talking with her, and you can get a glimpse of her right there. And she actually paid me a little bit of a visit when I was filming inside of the museum and asked me if I was having fun. But this is a great place to come check out. Right in between the buildings of Chesney's and the actual museum is a little pocket park here, the 1836 pocket park. And this is something really cool. They've got a little fountain and everything right there, and tables and chairs, and they have music playing. I just thought this was something really cool. I'd never seen anything like this. Just again, another example of people embracing the heritage of West Columbia. Now we're in the actual museum itself, and this building used to be a bank, and as we go through you're going to be able to see where the tellers and everything were. But here we've got a lot of artifacts that are pertinent to West Columbia from the past, from the Republic of Texas, and statehood as well. You've got bells from various schooners and ships that came through here, and then this is just a very cool, well organized museum that you can tell they take a lot of pride in the presentation that they put forth for visitors that do come to this museum. I was just greatly impressed by how organized and the thought and the care that was taken to make this relatively small space something that just is it's very easy to go through. It's very easy to view things. They've got they've got a little bit of everything when it comes to this museum. And you can see here's some history on the Brazos River, and of course, being a Brazorian, I had to focus in on the town of Brazoria. But there's some really cool stuff in here, and they do have a little gift section just over to the left here, and I saw that they had the book The Texians, and that's a book I had. It was actually given to me as a gift, and throughout my various military moves and things like that, I actually lost the book, and I was overjoyed to see that book was sitting right there. And I did leave the museum with that book in tow. But they do have some really cool gifts and things like that. I'm currently reading The Texians as we speak, and if you're not familiar with that book, it's a historically accurate novel, and a lot of the characters and a lot of the events that are talked about, are discussed or written about in the book, actually happened. And from what I understand from the author's point of view is that there's only one character that is could be considered fictional. So they've got a replica of the Capitol, the first Capitol. They've got some artifacts there. A lot of information for the public to take with them. They've got everything in here: horse saddles and all kinds of amazing things. And I know I'm kind of going through this real quick with the camera and everything, and the lighting isn't all that great. Excuse me for my lack of cinematography here. I'm definitely not a cinematographer, but they've got arrowheads, and they really hit every aspect of Brazoria County history, and the history right there around West Columbia, East Columbia. And you can see right across the street is Republic Barbecue. Here we kind of get into the Republic aspects of the museum. It's got a lot of cool things here. They've got dollar bills from the Republic of Texas, which is very, very cool. Those are becoming more and more rare and hard to find, and it's cool to see that you can actually go to a museum and see these. Got some rocking chairs. There's furniture throughout the museum. They've got bugles and weaponry from Revolutionary days to the Civil War. Very cool things here. I'm just again just very much impressed with the amount of detail and the organization that this museum has. They've done an excellent job of that. And you can kind of see the mural that's right behind here. We'll get a lot better look at that here in just a moment. Still looking here at the weaponry. And something kind of interesting, and I shared it with the people there, the crew that works there at the museum. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say I was still maybe early high school, maybe 9th or 10th grade. Both my uncles used to be really into metal detecting and things like that, and they actually found, one of my uncles actually found a Civil War saber in my grandmother's front yard. So that kind of raised the question of, hey, what was going on during the Civil War? Was this was Brazoria a place of a battle that maybe was lost to time? Was it an encampment or something like that? So there's history that's still being found today, and we get a little bit better look at our mural here on the wall. Beautifully done. I'm not sure who did this, but they did an excellent job of this, and they do take the time and the care to talk about some of the women who have a significantly historic impact on Texas. Jane Long and Mary Austin Colley, a lot of the women that Texas owes a great debt of gratitude to, and they're actually I want to say either it has passed or it's coming up. You might want to check with the Brazoria County Museum Association Facebook page. They are going to have actors kind of reenact some of these women, since we are in the Halloween season, and I think that's something very cool that they're doing as well. And I definitely wanted to spend a little time on those wonderful ladies there. And this museum, like I said, has it all. I mean, they have it feels like they've gone out of their way to make sure that everything that you see in this museum is relevant to Texas, whether it be as an independent republic or as a state, and the role that West Columbia, East Columbia played in the creation and the birth and the prosperity of Texas. And here, this diorama, I didn't notice it at first, and I was just kind of taking it in, and it's beautifully done. And here in a second, you're going to see me go back down. There you go. And if you see at the bottom, it says made by Peggy Mungerson, 1991. Here's the funny thing. Peggy Mungerson was my dramatic arts teacher 2 of my 4 years of high school. My freshman and sophomore year, she was my drama teacher. And to see that, it just put a smile on my face. I got kind of overly excited about that. This piece right here, I would love to have something like that in my house. I think that would just be, of course, being me, I'd want it to be exceptionally huge. But as we go in through, you got another little diorama there, and it's basically the floor plan of a store. And here we're going to go into this adjacent room here, and you're gonna see these were the little openings there. The doorways are where the tellers were, and they had 3 teller windows. They've got a lot of great stuff in there, and we start to get into wartime things, and it's not just Texas Revolutionary War type things here. We've got World War I, World War II, and like I said, these are all pertinent to Texas and the West Columbia area. The fire, right? The fire that burned down the West Columbia High School is there, and here we've got a little memorial to the firefighters and some of the fires that they've had to fight in the past. I think this is a great way to honor a lot of our first responders here. Without our first responders, and right here some nickels that were found. I believe it was after the fire at the high school. And this next opening that we're going to go into is all military, and we've got all kinds of little pillows talking about mothers of service members. And this is, for such a small space, they made sure that to get as much information in this area as they could. And I think, again, as I've said before, it was just an excellent job of utilizing the space that they have and making sure that every little bit of space is put to such good use. And with my respect for service members, and being a veteran myself, 15 years in the Air Force, the military definitely has a very close tie to me. And you got some uniform replicas here. You've got some we got Cadet Virgil Richardson here with what it states above right there, Black Air Force Squadron of World War II. And a lot of these pictures and artifacts are on loan from private individuals, and I think that it's very important that no one is left out. And it's kind of a hot button topic right now, unfortunately, with race and things like that, but we cannot discount the any kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? It's contributions from whoever they may be. You know, skin color doesn't matter. You're an American, you're a Texan, you know, you deserve the respect and honor that becomes you. And of course, I've always said this, and they've got a Marine uniform right there. I think the Marines are the absolute best dressed military service or branch of the military. It's amazing. I wish the Air Force looked half as good as a Marine dress blues do. But here we've got some quilts and things like that show the different types of quilts that were made throughout the years, and these are just amazing. I don't have the patience. I wouldn't have the patience to do anything like that. My grandmother did she did some quilting in Afghans and things like that, and I never understood how she had the patience to do anything like that, because I tell you what, I'd got frustrated and probably set it on fire. I guess that's where the little rage comes from. But these are absolutely beautiful quilts, Afghans that have been passed down from generation to generation. I really like the red and white one here. I like that pattern. It's very cool, very unique. That's the first time I'd seen a quilt that looks anything like that. As I said, we've got more furniture here. It kind of gives you an idea of things like tea service and the lamps that have been used and in the past, chairs. You've got a dress mannequin over there, different furs and minks and things like that were used by the ladies in the past. And of course, we got some football here, West Columbia Roughnecks, my alma mater, very cool. Had to take a little extra time on those. Very proud to be a Columbia Roughneck. Phonographs, things of that nature. There's actually an Archie's 45 there. Yeah, and if you're I guess past Generation X, you may not know what a 45 is. It was usually what in my day it was what musical artists would release their singles would be a 45, and it's 45 RPM. It was just one song on one side and another song on another side. I think I still got a whole bunch of those 45s at my grandmother's house. I may have to go through those and see what I've got. But we've got, like I said, just every little thing. I believe this is all, that looks like the Hogg Plantation there. Dinner service right there. Just some really cool artifacts here, and like I said, they've taken the time and the energy to really present these in a very tasteful form. I believe this cotton, wool. more China type things there. We've got here, this is some traditional mourning clothing for like funerals and things like that. Very cool type things. Just kind of shows you how sometimes the traditions continue to pass down, and they stay true to what they were years and years and decades and centuries ago. Here we've got some marriage things, and China, and got a quick glance at the wedding, a wedding dress right over here. So this was the West Columbia Museum. I want to thank everyone for taking time to watch this presentation on West Columbia. We'll be going back to West Columbia. There's a lot more history that we need to delve into. With that said, there's going to be a little bit of a gap between the two West Columbia videos. I have not had a chance to go back to West Columbia. The video footage was taken about 3 weeks ago. Life, jobs, things like that get in the way, and sometimes you're just not able to get things up as quickly as you'd want them to be up and running. But I'm doing my absolute best. This is a one-man show, so that's one of the announcements, is that there will be a little bit of a gap between the West Columbia installments here. But we will be soon going to, we're going to be going back to Brazoria. I'm actually headed down that way this weekend. Hopefully we'll be able to go into some of the more unknown parts of Brazoria County, or Brazoria history. And I'm going to have a little bit of a guide with me. Now, she's not going to want to appear on camera, and I'm going to do everything I can to not put her on camera. But she knows the area pretty much like the back of her hand, and she's going to take me to some of the really neat places that are out there. So that's going to be probably after the second installment of the West Columbia series here. Also, I have started one additional podcast. It's basically TMOLR Texas. It is on Spotify. If you could take a few minutes. I think this first episode was about 15 minutes long. It's not. I try to keep those relatively short. But another podcast that I'm working on is going to be called Little Rage After Dark, or Rage After Dark, and we're going to go. It's going to be a little bit more. What's the best way to put it? It's going to be a little more, we'll just call it uncensored. There's going to be some, I'm going to tackle some things that I feel that need to be looked at, not just on it from a history perspective, but from a perspective of a Texan. And I'm going to try to incorporate some humor and things like that. I'm working on an episode right now for people who are going to be moving to Texas. Some things that you may need to know before you get here, or if you're already here, maybe some things that you still need to make sure that you're aware of. Things like the size of our cockroaches, and if a mockingbird is pestering your cat, type of thing, what to do. I'm going to tell you right now, just leave the mockingbird alone, and things like that. But be on the lookout for those, for Little Rage After Dark. That's probably going to be coming up within the next month or so. I want to get 2 or 3 episodes in the can before I actually start uploading on that. And also, as you can see here, you can reach me at my email address, tmolr1973@gmail.com. If you feel like there's there's something you could contribute, somewhere that you feel I should give a little bit of a time and attention to, history-wise, you can also follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at TMOLR1. And I just recently started an Instagram, which I'm going to be up front with you. I'm not very good at keeping up with social media. I'm one that likes to talk to people in person. But if you want to drop a DM at X or Instagram, TMOLR Texas, it's the same as the Facebook page. You can certainly reach me there. And if you would like to contribute or come on the show, on the podcast, I'm open, very much open to doing interviews and things like that. So there's a lot of moving parts right now, and I'm doing my best to get everything rolling and going as smoothly as possible. So I do appreciate all of the support that I've been given by the Brazoria Heritage Foundation and the Columbia Historical Museum. They have been absolutely wonderful so far. And one last announcement is I have reached out to the County Commissioner for Precinct 4, Brazoria County, which is Brazoria, West Columbia area, and just trying to maybe get an interview with him to find out, where Precinct 4 stands and the county as a whole stands on the preservation of history, and try to get some answers on that, because I think there's a lot more that can be done to make Brazoria a little bit more, Brazoria the town, West Columbia the town, and the county as a whole, as make it a little bit more of an attraction for people who have a love and a fascination for history. But enough with me talking. Again, thanks everyone for taking time to view the video. If you do like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with whoever you think might find this interesting. And once again, I'll leave you with this. If you love history, or even have a liking of history and would like to learn more, consider becoming a member of your local historical society, your museums, things of that nature. Every little bit of help that they can get goes a long way. And until next time, till next week, this is Little Rage. We'll see you again soon.